In the middle of the Pacific, far from city lights, far from witnesses, an American carrier strike group was conducting what should have been a normal training exercise. The carrier was the USS Nimitz. Nearby was the USS Princeton, carrying one of the most powerful radar systems in the fleet.
But during those days, the radar began seeing something it could not explain.
The contacts appeared above the ocean, not civilian aircraft, not known military jets, not anything following a normal flight path. They appeared on the screen, moved strangely, descended, vanished, then appeared again.
Sometimes the targets seemed to be impossibly high. Then they dropped toward the sea with terrifying speed, not like a plane, not like a missile, not like a bird.
At first, the operators looked for the simplest answer: a radar malfunction, a ghost return, a calibration problem, electronic interference. So they checked the system, they recalibrated, they tried to make the mystery go away.
But after the checks, the contacts became clearer.
That was the first truly disturbing moment. When a machine is broken, you repair it. But when the machine is working and the impossible thing is still on the screen, the question changes. It is no longer what is wrong with the radar. It becomes what is the radar seeing?
Morning, November 14, 2004. The sky was clear. The ocean looked calm from above. But something beneath that calm was wrong.
Documentary-tone Commander David Fravor was flying an FA-18F Super Hornet on a training mission. Another fighter, flown by Alex Dietrich, was nearby. Routine exercise. No war, no expected threat, no reason to believe the day would become part of one of the most famous military UAP cases in modern history.
Then the call came from the USS Princeton. Change course. Investigate an unknown target.
The jets moved toward the location. All around them was blue, ocean and sky. No strange ship, no visible aircraft, no smoke, no explosion, no obvious source.
But on the surface of the water, there was a disturbance.
It was not ordinary wave action, a patch of white water, as if the ocean were boiling, as if something large had been just beneath the surface or had just left it.
And above that disturbance, they saw a white object.
Smooth, white. No wings, no tail, no cockpit, no visible engine, no exhaust, no flame, no smoke trail. It looked like a giant white tic-tac hanging above the ocean.
It did not fly like an aircraft. It did not drift like a balloon. It moved left and right, forward and back, as if searching the water below.
Fravor decided to descend and take a closer look. Dietrich stayed high, watching, and the white object did something even stranger.
It reacted.
A slow pulse music. Fravor circled downward. The object began to climb. A mirrored motion. As the jet moved, the object moved. As the jet closed in, the object kept its distance. No engine noise, no visible propulsion, no flight surfaces, no heat signature that made sense.
It was not simply moving. It seemed aware.
Intensifying. Fravor tried to cut it off, a fighter pilot's maneuver. If the object were ordinary, it should have reacted in a way he understood. It should have hesitated. It should have shown a turn radius. It should have shown limits.
Instead, it vanished.
Not into clouds, not into the sea, not in an explosion. It accelerated and was gone.
In an instant.
Heavy tone. The pilots were left above the water looking at an empty patch of ocean. The white water began to fade. The object was gone, but the story was not.
Distorted military radio. Moments later, the Princeton reported that the target had appeared far away from the intercept point.
If that contact was the same object, then it had crossed a distance at a speed and acceleration far beyond what the pilots expected, and it had done so without a sonic boom, without visible heat, without exhaust, without any known sign of propulsion.
Radar saw it, pilots saw it, the ocean reacted beneath it. Then it moved in a way nobody could explain.
The pilots returned to the USS Nimitz, but soon after, another aircraft launched. This time, it carried an infrared targeting system. That recording would become known as FLIR1.
Infrared camera tone. The video is not cinematic. It is not clear like science fiction. It is black and white. Indicators, a tracking box, a small object on a screen.
Mysterious. But sometimes the most disturbing evidence is not the clearest evidence. Sometimes it is the image that gives you just enough to know something was there, and not enough to tell you what it was.
Tense. The object was on the infrared display. The system tried to track it. The crew tried to understand it. And then the motion changed. The frame struggled. The object moved away.
Low voice. Years passed. The video reached the public. People divided into camps. Some said aliens. Some said secret technology. Some said sensor error. Some said optical illusion. And some said the most honest and frightening words in the entire case.
Serious. We do not know.
Soft, dark music. When an ordinary person says they saw something strange in the sky, people may doubt it. But when military radar sees it, fighter pilots see it, an infrared camera records it, and the question remains open, the case moves out of folklore and into something far more uncomfortable.
Thoughtful. Was it a secret aircraft from a rival nation? If so, why appear in front of a U.S. carrier strike group? Why reveal such a capability over the Pacific?
Questioning. Was it an American black project? If so, why risk confusing your own pilots? Why expose your own naval systems to danger during training?
Deep. Was it a radar error? Possibly. But what about the pilot's eyes? What about the ocean disturbance? What about the infrared video?
Pause. Every explanation opens one door and closes another, but none close all the doors.
Stronger ocean waves. Imagine that moment inside the cockpit. You are a fighter pilot. You know speed. You know danger. You know the sky. You know the shapes of aircraft, missiles, drones, balloons, clouds, glare, reflections. Then you see something with none of the normal signs of flight, and it moves better than anything you have ever seen.
Quiet, chilling voice. The disturbing part was not only that the object was strange, it was that it seemed confident. It did not seem afraid of the jets. It did not seem to be fleeing. It seemed to allow itself to be seen only for as long as it chose.
Whisper. Then it left.
Music rises. In mysteries, there are two kinds of secrets. One kind destroys the evidence. The worst kind leaves evidence behind, but never enough.
Radar beeps. The Nimitz encounter belongs to the second kind. Witnesses exist. Names exist. Video exists. Radar reports exist. But the answer is still missing.
Serious, emotional. Years later, the word UFO became UAP. The language changed. The files changed. Hearings were held. The Pentagon acknowledged the videos, but the white object over the Pacific remained what it had always been.
Slowly, unidentified.
Very low voice. Maybe it was human technology we don't yet understand. Maybe it was a rare natural phenomenon. Maybe it was a complicated chain of sensor errors and perception. Or maybe it was something else entirely.
Whispering. But on the morning of November 14th, 2004, above the Pacific Ocean, 4 witnesses in 2 aircraft looked down at the sea, while a warship watched from a distance, and an infrared camera later tried to follow something that refused to be followed.
dark ending. The question that remains is not only, are we alone? The more disturbing question is this: if something can move like that above our oceans and observe us before we understand it, then who was really studying whom?
Slow radar beep, then silence. In official files, it is called a UAP. In the memory of pilots, it is the tick-tock. But in the files of the mysterious universe, it is the object that outran the jets and left radar chasing a ghost above the Pacific.